and thank you for joining us for a special edition of Congratulations, You're In. Throughout each episode, we will explore the many steps that you, as Montgomery County High School students, may encounter both before and during your college application process. Together, we want to guide you towards reading those fantastic words, Congratulations, You're In. I'm Tony Spearman-Leach, your host, and joining us today is Timothy Zoe, a rising senior in the Montgomery County Public Schools. Tim, I want to welcome you.
Thank you.
You've made it to the wonderful edge of the class of 2017.
Yep.
And you and your classmates are getting ready to go through what I think most American high school students worry about other than prom and the first date. And that is applying to college. Let's start with the big issue is what's most important to you when you started thinking about college? What was the big issue for you?
The big issue for me was just deciding on what kind of area I wanted to major in and whether or not that school had a good program that could help me major in that specific area and help me out in the future when I get a job or find a job. So I guess for me personally, business and computer science are my top picks, and what I was planning on doing was doing a double major in business and computer science. And I think the two areas kind of correspond and correlate with each other. And I think I asked advice from you and from my counselor, and apparently those two areas are the way to go for the future.
Now I want to really point out to your fellow classmates out there in MCPS schools.
Yeah.
You talked to multiple people. So you did talk to your counselor, and they give you advice. The counselors give you advice, but then you also started talking to other people. And do you think that's important for your classmates to seek multiple areas of information?
Yeah, everyone has their own opinions. So I guess if you wanted to get a lot of facts from different people and from different perspectives, I think it's great to go out and ask other people, such as the people who actually come from the college, from the admissions office. They can tell you more about their programs, or ask any other consultants, your parents, past alumni, and I guess anyone else that went to college. Yeah.
No, this is awesome because you really have taken what is a very sophisticated approach to saying, I want to get as much information as possible. Yeah. Let me ask you, when you started making a choice about your major, I heard you say, I wanted to look at the universities that offered those programs. Yeah. Now let me ask you, how did you go and find those universities? What were your first sources of information to find if your major even existed at the college?
Well, I didn't. Well, Google is a pretty useful tool. I guess if you go on their website, the college's website, they have a list of programs. And if your program isn't listed there, you can always go to those college visits, which I did over spring break. I went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh, and it was a pretty good campus. And they had an information session where they basically went into depth on what programs they offer and how you can do those double majors, one major, one minor kind of stuff.
Now this is a very critical point that I want students to understand. Google is a valid source of information. You can also go onto the website and look at Peterson's guide, petersons.com, which is an aggregate resource, like an encyclopedia that all the universities have put their information into. When you go into your library in the Montgomery County Public Libraries, you can get any one of the guides that tells you the insider's guide to this and that. But the other thing I think is important is that if you know you want to major in a specific major, make sure you go and look at whether or not your university that you selected is accredited in that field for that major. Because they may have the major, but they may not be accredited as being the source of information. Now, obviously you went and took it a step further. You did a site visit, you did a campus visit. And I would encourage all students to do that. But this is so very important. You've done those first initial steps. You have chosen what you wanted to major in, and counselors can help you with that. You have asked other people for help as to what their thoughts are. And like you said, opinions are like armpits. Everybody has one. And so I'm glad that you're helping your students out this way. Tim, right now, I really do want to thank you for your insight and perspective as you continue to undertake your college application adventure. You do remind us why Montgomery County is this awesome place to learn. But right now, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back with more information to help you right here on Congratulations, You're In.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers' dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
School's out forever.
School's out with fever.
School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
School's out for summer.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hello, and thank you for again joining us for another special episode of Congratulations, You're In. Timothy Zoe, a rising senior in the Montgomery County Public Schools, is sharing his perspective and insight with us as he, just like you, begins to make his professional dreams of today his reality tomorrow. Now, Tim, we've gotten through the big part of major and how we're going to explore all of that, but how did you decide location, colleges? What were the considerations you took into account when you started saying where?
So basically, if you look at University of Miami and you look at College Park, University of Maryland, the main difference between the two is that Miami is right next to a beach and College Park is in the middle of nowhere. So if you're one of those type who likes to go out on the weekends, hang out with friends, be social, I guess location-wise, Miami would be the best one. But if both schools are different. They're both good schools, and it really depends on what you look into at for a college. So if you like the location better, the location would probably be a huge aspect in selecting a university for you. But there are other parts into selecting a college, the campus size.
Absolutely.
Again, what kind of majors they offer, what kind of programs they have. Also, student life, so what kind of clubs they offer, and if you have like an interest, what other people in that university have that same interest as you.
So let me ask you, did you look at any of the universities, student life and clubs? What were the things you looked for?
So when I went to MIT for a college visit, the student guide basically gave listed examples of what kind of activities they had. One of the activities that kind of interested me was the gun shooting thingamabobber. It's like where you can actually get a credit for that kind of course. So you basically spend, I think what they have is like 1 week in the middle of like winter or spring, where you're like free to do anything you want. You can take any courses you want. They have this firing range pistol class where you can actually get credits for just shooting at paper targets, which was pretty interesting to me.
So that was something that enhanced their student body. Now let me ask you, when you look at the enhancement of the life among their student body, what were you most concerned about? What type of university did you not want to go to in terms of student life?
In terms of student life, if there's like no kind of clubs or other people who have the shared interest, if no one came together as a community, if it's just every person for themselves, I guess that's not a university that I would want to be in, since having peers to talk to and to collaborate is essential in basically studying, I guess. Yeah.
And one of the things I want everyone to understand about all of this is that today there's a very easy way to learn about universities and their student life. Almost every college and university places their student newspaper online.
Yeah.
And you can go online and look at each week's student newspaper and tell all sorts of things. What was the latest fair or festival? Who's the latest club? What were the latest awards? And you can also learn things about the school you may not have wanted to know or really needed to know, like were there any robberies?
Yeah.
Were there any fights? Were there any strikes on the campus because there's an unhappiness between the staff and the faculty? So there's all sorts of things. I would encourage every student, when you're looking at a university, go look at the university newspaper, because that's how you find out the good, the bad, the fantastic, and the awful. And of course, you're going to spend 4 years there.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, for your 4 years, if you were to say your ideal college situation, what does Tim want?
For me, I guess location, I mean, just like the programs that they offer is what I want. If they're good at business, if they're like top one in the country and having the most people, graduates who come from their program get into a job from that first year out, that would be something I would look into. Also, student life. What I want is like if a school had like a video kind of production kind of club, that would be a great suit for me, since video production was a hobby of mine, is a hobby of mine, and something I enjoy doing in the free time. So.
And I think that I want everyone to listen exactly to what you said. You set a very specific goal, and that's what's important in pursuing your college application process. You said the words, I wanted a school that was number one in its fields, but two, that it also had the metric of having people hired very, very quickly. So I want to know that when I graduate, I'm going to walk into a career, a profession. I don't want to be out there saying, I got a degree, what do I do now? And we've seen that.
Yeah.
We all have been in high school, and we've seen the people who come back and say, what are you doing now? And they're like, I don't know. And you're saying there's a way to work on that, find out what happens. So again, Tim, you are absolutely fantastic. You are a major accomplishment. I want to thank our outstanding guest from the Montgomery County Schools, class of 2017,
2017.
Timothy Zoe. Together, we hope that we've gotten you a few steps closer to reading and hearing those fantastic words. Congratulations, you're in. Join us for our upcoming episodes where we will further explore researching your major and minor, which Tim hit on, preparing your college application, what to do during a college interview, scholarships, grants, loans, and so very much more. Until next time, keep working towards your dreams until you hear those words. Congratulations, you're in.
Yeah, I got attitude. Attitude.